Welcome back everyone. The off-season has not even started yet, but the rumors have already begun to come out. And one rumor that has had many Laker fans talking during the past 24 hours happens to be a trade rumor involving the Charlotte Hornets and Russell Westbrook. According to Mark Stein, Charlotte may have interest in trading for Westbrook over the summer. Now, he did not detail what they might be willing to give up for him, but regardless, it has got a lot of people talking. So in today's video, I'm going to give my take on this rumor, and we'll do that by talking about the likelihood of a trade with Charlotte actually happening, what the moving parts might look like, and if the trade is even realistic or not. To begin, it's really no surprise that a rumor has already come out involving a potential Westbrook trade. It will likely be the main topic of debate during the summer, and I guarantee that many more rumors will come out. But what has caught the attention of many fans with this particular trade rumor is with it involving a different team than usual, and its potential to benefit the Lakers more than previous Westbrook trade rumors. And what I mean by it involving a different team than usual is that we have already heard the rumors about the Houston Rockets, New York Knicks, or even Oklahoma City Thunder potentially being willing to trade for Westbrook many times already. And quite frankly, I think many people have simply gotten bored with those ideas, but now with a new rumor coming out involving a different team, and from a fairly reliable source too, that has piqued the interest of many Laker fans. The Charlotte Hornets are not a team that tends to get much media coverage outside of LaMelo Ball, so they often can be forgotten about. But when you look through their team and look at some of the intriguing players that they have, it's hard to prevent your imagination from running wild with trade ideas. Now, we all know that LaMelo Ball is practically untouchable, but I've seen many fans hoping for Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, or even Miles Bridges in return for Westbrook in a trade. And I hate to break it to you if you're one of those people, but I highly doubt that Charlotte would be willing to offer any of them other than maybe Kelly Oubre. Because in reality, the player that Charlotte likely has in mind to get rid of in return for Russ would likely be Gordon Hayward, which initially may not sound all that bad. But then when you take into consideration his bad contract and inability to stay healthy, that is where the real problem lies. I mean, say what you want about Russ, but at the very least, he is a very durable player. The same thing cannot be said for Gordon Hayward though. He has only been able to play in 49 games for Charlotte this season, and only played in 44 games for them last season. And his production on the court simply is not good enough to justify paying him roughly $30 million per year, which not only would be for next year, but all the way up until 2024. And when you look at that combined total over the next 2 years, he will be making $14 million more compared to Russ. And for a team like the Lakers who want to have as much money as they possibly can for free agency in 2023, that would probably not be very appealing to them. Gordon Hayward would probably not be the only contract they would have to take on either, because another player that Charlotte would likely want to include happens to be Mason Plumlee, who, like Hayward, may not be a bad player, but is another guy who is simply not worth his current contract. Plumlee will be making $8.5 million next year, which although is not nearly as bad compared to Hayward, it still can be viewed as a bad contract. A traditional and aging center like Plumlee is not worth that amount of money. He does not provide much in terms of offense, nor is he a rim protector either. The unfortunate reality when it comes to negotiating a Westbrook trade with Charlotte is that, like practically every other team who might be willing to trade for him, they are not going to help out the Lakers here. In order for the Lakers to trade Russ, they are going to end up losing a trade, and there's really no way around it. In my opinion though, it really all comes down to finding a trade that hurts them the least. For example, I definitely prefer a trade with Charlotte even if it means taking on Gordon Hayward compared to making a trade with Houston to acquire John Wall for Westbrook and potentially a draft pick. But we need to realize that even though Russ ended the year fairly well and that he will be on an expiring contract, absolutely no teams are going to give them a real asset in return for him. In order for that to happen, the Lakers would need to give up significant draft compensation and maybe even a guy like Austin Reeves. Otherwise, they are going to need to take on a bad contract, if not multiple of them, in order to trade away Russ. It's unfortunate, but in reality, they are the ones that put themselves into this situation, and now they have to live with it. On a more positive note though, I do think that a rumor coming out like this one is a very good thing for them. I would much rather hear about teams being potentially interested in trading for Westbrook, even if their trade offer would not be ideal, rather than hearing about no teams being interested in him at all. I think that is a very good sign for them going into the summer, because I really do not see a way for them to run it back next season. Between all of the drama that went on with Westbrook, the horrible fit on the court, and how everything ended for their team, there is no way that they would feel comfortable bringing him back. They will either need to trade him, work out a contract buyout with him, or simply waive him and use the stretch provision on his remaining contract, which they are reportedly willing to do if it comes down to it. However, that should be their absolute final option. We all know how long the contract of Luol Deng haunted them for, and in fact, it's still currently haunting them right now, but doing that with Westbrook's contract would be even worse. Rather than the annual $5 million that would plague them like with Luol Deng's contract, it would be an annual $15 million for them over the next 3 years. That is something they could not afford to live with unless they entered a complete rebuild, which I do not see happening with Anthony Davis under contract, and with LeBron reportedly being committed for them for another couple of years. In conclusion though, I may not be a big fan of what a trade might look like with the Charlotte Hornets, but I do like that a team is even interested in potentially trading for Westbrook at all. He clearly can still help a team in the right situation, but between his horrible contract, along with his inability to fit in with many star players, it will be hard to find a mutually beneficial trade for him. And unless you value the bad contract of Gordon Hayward and Mason Plumlee, the Charlotte Hornets are likely not a team worth trading Westbrook to. But with that will conclude my thoughts on the rumor and what a potential Westbrook trade with the Charlotte Hornets may look like. And what do you guys think? What do you believe a trade with them would look like? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. But before you go, I would like to invite you to join the official Discord for the channel. If you like having NBA debates and discussion with others in real time, being updated on NBA news, or even being able to chat with me, then you really should think about joining. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to everyone who took the time to watch until the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.